current can be defined as the rate of flow of charges. That rate of flow of charges can be made steady by connecting a DC battery. If time to time applied potential difference is changes, that is instant to instant potential difference across the conductor is changes. Which one create like that means, if you connect a AC line, each and every instant applied potential difference across the conductor is changes. If changing potential difference create a varying current at any instant, at the time we can take on that current in small I. Small I is equal to del q by del t. In a small interval of time, that is a del t interval of time, the del t can be taken almost equal to 0. It is a very small interval. In that time, del q charges are crossing through any cross section, then that current can be represented as small I is equal to del q by del t almost equal to 0. This current can be taken as a instantaneous current. So, DC battery can produce a steady current that can be taken as I is equal to q by t. AC line or variable battery can be produce a varying current. There we are measuring only the instantaneous current, is a steady current. By DC battery can be produce a steady current. AC line, alternating current line can produce a instantaneous current. Anyhow, for that current we have the equation I is equal to q by t. We know that q is nothing but a charge SI unit, Coulomb. Simply capital C we can use. T is a time SI unit, second, small s we can use. So, that is why I, that is a current SI unit can be taken based on our formula Coulomb second power minus 1, or we are giving that unit for that current as ampere to honor our one of that scientist. Simply can be taken as a capital A. That is why 1 ampere equal to 1 coulomb per 1 second. Unit of current can be taken as 1 amp, that is ampere or coulomb second power minus 1. Then 1 coulomb is, so 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. If 1 coulomb of charge crosses any cross section, cross sectional area we can take area in 1 second, then current through the conductor is 1 ampere. Current through the conductor is 1 ampere SI unit, as well as we can define 1 ampere definition, and current is a scalar quantity, that current is a scalar quantity. Okay. We have the conventional direction of that current flow representation for the current flow conductors. So, conventional directions is taken from example, if you taken a conductor for a conventional current flows, if you taken a conductor, the copper conductor, it is in a cylindrical shape. If we connect to a battery, battery positive terminal is a negative terminal, is a higher potential end, is a lower potential end. Conventional current direction is taken from positive terminal of the battery to that negative terminal of the battery. How in olden days conventionally taken that direction of that current flow is taken from higher potential to lower potentials, as like the masses, as like the window, that is a wind, as like that water, where the water is can be flows from one end to the another, one end to that another end, means from a higher point to that lower point only water itself moves, and the wind also can be moves from a higher pressure to that lower pressure. In a gravitational field, if you have a one free mass, if you have a free mass means it can be moves in a gravitational field. From where to where it can be moves means the free mass can be moves from a higher gravitational potential to that lower gravitational potentials. That is why conventionally the current flow direction is from positive terminal to negative direction, negative terminal. Positive to negative, but we are taken the conventional current from positive terminal to negative terminal. There inside our conductor electrons only moves, electrons are moves in that opposite direction to the conventional current. The positive charge means can be if conductor has only that free electrons only. Suppose if you taken there we have a positive charge movement, means positive charges can be moved from higher potential to lower potential. That is a higher potential is a positive. Positive terminal repel the positive charges. Negative terminal attract the positive charges. So there we can taken if any conductor has a positive charges movement, suppose that can be moved from a positive terminal to that negative terminal. But in nature, there we have a only electrons, free electrons in a conductor for that current flow. That free electrons are moving from a lower potential to that higher potential. That is from negative terminal of the battery to that positive terminal of the battery. So that is why the conventional current direction is taken in that opposite to the direction of that electron movement. But in general concept, the conventionally the current is flows from higher potential to that lower potential. At the time of electrons movement from one end to another end, suppose in a conductor free electrons are drifted by that electric field from y end to that x end in a t time. In a t time, this free electron is drifted from y end to the x end, but electric field is existing in opposite direction. Electric field is existing from x to y, means then only that free electrons are drifted from y to that x. That drifted electrons moves a certain distance, may taken the length of the conductor in a t time. So based on that certain length movement and time, that electrons having a velocity. Here that free moving electrons are drifted by the electric field from a lower potential n to that higher potential. So, that is why that drifted electrons velocity is called as a drift velocity. Drift velocity. At the time of current flow, free electrons are moving from lower potential to higher potential, not in a free manner. Each and every instant it want to make a collision on that atoms and ion. After that, turn back forward, like that we can take them. Anyhow, it reaches to that opposite end. So, it will take a certain time to travel a certain distance, certain direction. So, that is why that free electrons create a current flow, as well as that electron has a velocity. That velocity is called as a drift velocity. When you are applying electric field, that electric field only drifting that whole free electron on the surface of the conductor from one end of the conductor to that another end. That velocity is called as a drift velocity. So, at the time of existing electric field, each and every electron experienced a force. We know that F is equal to small e into capital E. Based on that Newton's second law, mass and acceleration relation we have, that can be taken as ma. So, that is why E small e into capital E equal to ma, then A is equal to E by m. This is acceleration. Acceleration can be related with velocity and time. Rate of change of velocity is nothing but acceleration. So, based on that, A is equal to Vd by t. General velocity is represented in a small v, but here the electrons are drifted towards the positive terminal by the applied electric field. That is why their velocities are taken drift velocity. So, we can take A is equal to Vd by t. Acceleration of that each and every electron can be taken as equal to drift velocity divided by time taken. So, based on this, we can take that drift velocity Vd is equal to A tau. There time can be represented in tau. What is that tau means? Suppose first collision, collision 1 is a collision 2, second collision. Between the two successive collision, that free electrons are moving, there it takes a certain time. That time is called as a tau, may called as a relaxation time. Actually, A is equal to Vd by t, in basically velocity divided by time is equal to acceleration. So, acceleration A is equal to Vd by t, then drift velocity is equal to A into tau. Tau is nothing but a time taken between that two successive collision. So, one collision to another collision, between what time it is taken, that is represented in tau, that is relaxation time can be called. Then we have the value of the acceleration. So, A is equal to E by m. If you substitute this value in our formula, Vd is equal to E by m into tau. So, here electrons are drifted towards the positive terminal, but electric field exists from positive terminal to negative terminal. That is why the electric field is a vector quantity, act in one direction means drift velocity is act in opposite direction. That is why Vd vector equal to E tau by m. Want to put minus for opposite direction, that is E vector. So, Vd vector is equal to minus E tau by m into E vector. This E tau by m is constant at a given temperature, that is represented in one symbol mu, that is a mobility. Vd vector equal to minus mu into E vector. It is a constant at a given temperature. So, that is why Vd is proportional to that E. Drift velocity of that electron is directly proportional to that applied electric field. Okay. Then mu is nothing but a mobility. So, mu is one of the constant at a given temperature. The temperature to temperature, its values varies. How it is varies we can see. Mu is equal to, that is Vd by E. Based on this formula also we can define the definition for the mobility. Drift velocity acute per unit electric field. We know that electric field increases, drift velocity also increases, directly proportional. But here mobility, another term mobility, drift velocity acute per unit electric field, this value does not changes by varying the electric field. So, Vd proportional to E, mu not depends on electric field, independent of that electric field, but depends upon that temperature. Okay. Vd is proportional to E. Vd vector is equal to minus mu into E vector. These two are opposite direction, that shows by this negative sign. Then mu is equal to modulus of Vd vector divided by modulus of E vector. Otherwise, simply Vd by E, drift velocity acute per unit electric field. So, U, that is mu not depends on electric field, but Vd proportional to E. If temperature changes, that is atoms and ions in conductors makes more vibrations. If you take on a conductor, if suppose if you use a conductor in a electrical circuits, current flows continuously, the temperature may be increases. If a temperature increases, atoms and ions on the surface of the conductors makes more vibrations. If that atoms and ions makes more vibrations, then tau value decreases. So, that is why temperature increases, vibration of, very important is atoms and ions on the surface of the conductor. Increases. So, tau value decreases. So, in similarly we can, if you refer to means temperature T, if it increases, vibration of atom is fast increases, tau decreases. So, temperature increases, time taken between the two successive collision is decreases, then we have a mobility formula mu is equal to E tau by m. We know that E is nothing but a charge of an electron, it remains constant whatever may be the temperatures, and the mass of electron also remains constant. If a temperature increases, time taken between the two successive collisions decreases, then tau decreases, mu also decreases. Mu also decreases. Due to the temperature increases, tau decreases, mobility also decreases. So, mobility and the temperatures are inversely proportional for current carrying conductors. Mobility is nothing but drift velocity acquired per unit electric field. That is, mobility does not depends upon that electric field, very clear that, but it depends upon that temperature. So, that is that mobility, and there we have the unit SI unit for the mobility also. Based on the formula mu is equal to Vd by E, we can give that unit. We know that Vd is nothing but a velocity meter per second divided by the electric field E. We have the unit volt per meter. So, if you rearrange that, we will get the SI unit. SI unit of that mobility is meter square volt power minus 1 second power minus 1 is one of the SI unit of mobility. Another unit also we have. So, mu is equal to Vd by E. We have that same, that is a meter per second divided by electric field has two SI units. One is the volt per meter, another one is Newton per coulomb. If we substitute it, we will rearrange that meter, coulomb, Newton power minus 1, second power minus 1, like that we can take and rearrange that existing units, and second unit is meter, coulomb, Newton power minus 1, second power minus 1 is another unit. Actually, in our book they given that meter squared volt power minus 1, second power minus 1. This is the mobility and their unit, and depends upon which factor, does not depends upon which factor we have completed. Next we have that very simplest topic, microscopic model of current. Microscopic model of current. We are going to see about that microscopic model of current or electric current is a very important topic, gives the relation between drift velocity and current. Previously, we saw about that relation between that electric field and drift velocity. Now, we are going to see about drift velocity to that electric current, drift velocity to the electric current. For that, we are going to take on a conductor, cylindrical shape, copper conductor we are going to take on. Its total length may represent as a L, and this conductor is going to connect with a battery. This end may be represented as X and this end may express as a Y. There, before switch on a battery, there we have a free electrons that are moves in a random manner. And we can take another two factors, area of cross section of conductor A. If any conductor has a certain number of free electrons, that number of free electrons based on that electron density. So, that is why L is a length, A is the area of cross section, and N is the number of free electrons per unit volume. Of the conductor. Generally, we are going to take on the copper conductor itself. Now, we are connecting a battery which provides a V potential difference. The X end becomes a higher potential and Y end becomes a lower potential, and the electric field is created in that direction of from left to right, that is from higher potential to lower potential. Now that electrons are moving from one end to that another end. So at the time, the velocity, distance and time relation we are going to relate. For that, we will take a certain length of that conductor, that is dx length of the conductor. Certain number of free electrons moves from one end to another end for our dx length in a dt time. In a dt time, certain number of free electrons, certain volume of free electrons traveled a dx distance in a drift velocity. So that's why we can take that drift velocity, drift velocity Vd equal to distance moves dx in a time. So we can take an Vd equal to dx by dt, then distance moved dx is equal to Vd into t, dt. In a dt time dx distance, certain number of electron moves. What amount of electrons moves, then we can calculate now. So that dx length, it is a cylindrical shape, dx length has certain volume. So that's why volume of dx length or distance of the conductor can be taken as length into area of cross section, that is A into dx. We know that here dx can be taken as Vd into dt, A into Vd into dt. So anyhow, there what amount of free electrons we are going to calculate it. We know that n is the number of electrons per unit volume. That's why number of free electrons in dx length volume, that is a dx length volume. So their volume into number of electrons per unit volume. That's why A Vd into dt into small n is nothing but a number of free electrons per unit volume. This number of electrons are moving from one end to another end through that dx distance, but each and every electron's charge is E. Each and every electron charge is E. So that's why total charge moves in dx distance in a dt time can be considered as a dq. That dq amount is moves in a dt time. Anyhow, dq is equal to A Vd into dt into n. The each and every one has a charge E. So that's why that is the total charge A Vd dt small n into E. This amount of charges can be moves in a dt time. That's why based on that dq and dt we will represent that current equation. I is equal to dq by dt. If you substitute the value for that dq, that is n a e v d into dt divided by dt. dt cancel. We will get that I is equal to n a e v d. This is the relation of current and drift velocity. For a given conductor, number of free electrons remains constant. Okay. The current and drift velocity relation is I is equal to n a e v d. For a given conductor, number of free electrons per unit volume, area of cross section, charge of each electron is this all constant. That's why current through the conductor is proportional to that drift velocity. So current and drift velocity are directly proportional. Next, another one is the current density. Which may represent as a J, that is J is equal to I by A, current per unit area of cross section we can take. Based on this formula, is taken A this side, we will get, otherwise if you substitute that I value, I is nothing but NAE Vd divided by A cancel, we will get that is Ne Vd, that is J. Current is a scalar quantity, current density is a vector quantity. If you represent that vector direction, must put that negative sign, because electric field direction current density is acting, but that drift velocity is act in opposite direction. So that is why J vector is equal to minus Ne Vd vector. J vector is equal to minus Ne Vd vector. We know that drift velocity value based on that acceleration Vd is equal to E tau into capital E by m. If you substitute this value, J vector is equal to minus Ne into E tau by m into E vector. So if you merge it, J vector is equal to minus Ne squared tau by m into E vector, and this all constant at a given temperature. At a given temperature, this all constant. That may symboled into sigma, called as a conductivity. J vector is equal to minus sigma into E vector. Sigma is equal to Ne squared tau by m is called as a conductivity. Another, its reciprocal factor we have. Conductivity's reciprocal factor is resistivity, that is symboled in rho. Rho is equal to 1 by sigma, that is equal to m divided by Ne squared tau, is called as a resistivity. Anyhow, this equation J vector is equal to minus Ne squared tau by m into E vector is called as a microscopic form of that Ohm's law. Microscopic form of that Ohm's law means J is equal to Ne squared tau by m into E without vector form. If you want to mention in a vector form means J vector is equal to minus Ne squared tau by m into E vector is a microscopic form of that Ohm's law. We know that Ohm's law, I is proportional to V. Then our expression I proportional to Vd, Vd proportional to E. For a given conductor, length is remains constant. Electric field is proportional to V. So that is why these two are related, and given in a Ohm's law, I is proportional to V at a given temperature, because in a given temperature only drift velocity remains constant. We know that mobility is changes based on the temperature. So mobility changes, drift velocity changes, then we have conductivity also changes. Temperature for a conductor, temperature and conductivities are inversely proportional, because conductivity formula sigma is equal to Ne squared tau by m. Temperature increases, tau decreases, conductivity decreases. So that is why we have that super frame of our Ohm's law is at a constant temperature, steady current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to that applied potential difference across the conductor, is called as a Ohm's law, framed by George Simon Ohm. Okay, that's all. That Ohm's law and their expression is going to see in that next section.